So we're starting off showing this magnificent bed because this is Kagapoda. But come on into me and let's. I'm gonna the final one. We're shooting 3 today. I'll go under the covers in a minute, but we're gonna talk NBA. We're gonna talk some sports. We're gonna talk mostly NBA. We saw. You know what? I want to start with the Lakers. I'll be like ESPN. Yeah, you got to always start with the Lakers. The Lakers played last week, and they lost a real close game to Houston. And Houston is just an excellent young team. They're really, really fine, and they're big and they're young and the Lakers were real close and they lost. Fair enough. A day later, it wasn't back to back, there was a day in between, but they were playing Dallas. And Luka Doncic is hurt, Kyrie Irving is hurt, Gafford is hurt, and the Lakers were beaten handily and badly by Dallas's second stringers. And Charles Barkley, among others, came out and said, "Oh, they suck and they stink." It was not their best game, but let's bring some humanity into this. They're sitting playing a game while their area of the world is burning down. How the hell do you even concentrate? You don't even know what's going on. You're worried the people that you live with and you care about and you love are being thrown out. It's devastation. And so let's cut the Lakers a little slack on that one. Yes, they're not an amazing team, and I'm going to move into some amazing teams right now, but let's cut them some slack. No one mentioned the wildfires, including J.J. Redick, who, it sounds like he almost lost his home. Okay, let's move along. We saw a matchup of the OKC Thunder and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And it was it was just wonderful basketball. 30 lead changes. There was never a difference in points of more than, I think, 8. This was a hell of a back and forth struggle. And now let's talk about OKC for a second. And then I'll talk more about that game and the Cavs, and then another couple of NBA thoughts and observations. The Cavs, the Thunder, just prior to the game, dismantled, particularly in the fourth quarter, dismantled the Boston Celtics. And it was very interesting because for me, having watched a lot of the Olympics, as much of the Olympics in Paris as I could, I understood exactly why Steve Kerr didn't play Jason Tatum. Because Jason Tatum is still unreliable. He's wonderful, he's big, he can do a lot of things, but he does not have a great handle. He's not a great passer. He settles for threes rather than going to the hoop, and it was just exposed by the Thunder. And they dismantled the raining, and raining is interesting, raining threes. They dismantled them, okay? And now I'm going to jump ahead because last night the Thunder dismantled the Knicks to the point where the crowd was booing. this Thunder team is real. They're young. They're excellent. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is just, maybe he will win MVP. He is tremendous. We know what Djokovic is doing, and he's going to keep going. Joker's great. But the bottom line is what OKC is doing without Chet Holmgren is amazing. All right, so let's cut to the chase. Cleveland won. The Cavaliers beat OKC. OKC came into the game on a 15-game winning streak. The Cavs came in on a 10 or an 11-game winning streak. And boy, this Cavaliers team is... It was an amazing game. Tight D, few turnovers, and ultimately, Cleveland beat them with their depth and their composure, despite an off night from Donovan Mitchell. Secondary and even tertiary players stepped up, and Allen and Mobley put on a master class. I was so excited. I've been a Cavs fan for a while now. Listen, I started watching them when LeBron was there, and I've continued. I'm a Cavs fan. Small market team, I guess. But we're watching a new era of basketball. Start looking at the box scores. You're having 5 and 6 and even 7 and 8 players scoring in double figures. That's crazy. That's awesome. And the real point is, if you don't have it, if you don't have that balance where everyone on the court can play and contribute, you're gonna lose. The days of having the one player score big followed by a secondary and all the rest being, the support, those days are over. You need to play team basketball. And it's just a thing of beauty. They are so good and big and talented. Loved it. So it begs the question, though, why are ratings down? And I've mentioned a few different things. I've mentioned those covering the game that are being highlighted, those presently still at TNT. I've mentioned, Shaq is mumbling and incoherent. Charles Barkley just shoots from the hip, and he can't string together 2 solid sentences. Kenny the Jet Smith he's incoherent. If you really sit there, and he tries to be the wise man of the group, and you can't listen to it. Okay, they don't speak in proper English, which to someone who grew up really caring about that, every time I hear a verb improperly conjugated or not real sentences even, it bothers me. It does. So I brought that up. But let me bring something else up. Donald Trump. I believe he has radically hurt the game. You say, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Well, obviously he's sowing division and hatred and racism, because that's what he does. But let's think by analogy. Let's think, remember in the NFL, remember when the cops were killing people, George Floyd, and Colin Kaepernick took a dignified knee to protest police brutality. And Donald Trump attacked, didn't he? Throw it out of there. He is not respecting our servicemen and women, and they don't even want women in the military, right? So he's not respecting our servicemen. Now that was total bullshit, right? Total. That's not what was going on at all. But he turned everyone and the whole sport against Colin Kaepernick, who is doing something important and dignified and correct. But that would never fly in the NBA, right? Still, in the NFL, still white power and control, right? But the NBA has become a very serious black league. They don't go visit criminal racist presidents. And I believe that's why Christmas Day they're still running football games. And that's why there's less attention, because Donald Trump is fostering racism and divide. You heard it here first. Let it sink in. Think about it. Go look in a mirror. I ask you, MAGA folk, all the time what you stand for, and you can't even address in a mirror what you stand for. But think about it now. Are you watching the NBA? It's the greatest game around. It's the greatest team game around. The quality of play, the strength and speed and athleticism, and it is just a fabulous game. This is Hal Miz, thumbs up for feet up. Thank you.